And this cute little white boy's like, it's GloZell. I go, you know who I am? He said, I'm here to see you. And I was like, you here to see me? Because I couldn't believe that, how much humor transcend, because I've been auditioning. You're too tall, you're too dark, you're too big. Everybody looked a certain way on television, but on the internet, the kids that were finding you, they're just like, I like you. That's all I know. It's like, hey, can you come to my birthday party? Can you do this? I'm just a big friend, a kid. For me, it's like the movie Big. Yeah. So I was like, what? This is great. And I was very proud of that my humor went across all races.
I love this story so much. So how did you get to the point where you were just throwing up vlog videos on YouTube to like, you're having a meetup? So like you just noticed your numbers started growing. Did you do anything to stoke the fire?
I want to meet them because I am coming from a stand-up background. I am a people person. So I want my thing is like, you like me, I like you. But if you feed me, then I love you. Like I love you. But like I wanted to meet people and I still do. So the pandemic was really hard. But not only are you not meeting people, you're masked up. However, that went well for YouTube because I was just in front of the camera anyway. But I really enjoyed meeting people, and I'm gonna do a little tour. I'm gonna be at this Target. I'll just show up. I'm like, I'm gonna be here. I'll be there. And they had to call security. I didn't realize it was gonna be this thing because I didn't know those were real numbers. I'm like, there's really thousands, millions of people watching me? But then I realized one day, I'm like, this is the medium that is now. Some people have radio, then they have to go to television. I'm like, this is it. This is where it is, at the internet. Mm-hmm. And nobody else was really on it that much. Yeah. People didn't know, I had a lot of family and friends that I still don't talk to. A lot of family that I don't talk to. You're acting up. What is it? Someone told me that they saw you doing something dumb, and you're representing a family like that. Now you can go watch a comedy show, and that's fine. You can watch a movie and people doing everything, that's fine. But people really, didn't really understand the internet. And
okay, this is big. We need to pause on this for a second because, all right, so this is what I deal with people. I help people. I have a coaching course. It's part of what I do.
You do everything. You are Jamaican. I got this, I do that.
I literally am that. I am that in Living Color sketch. Yes, I literally am out ironing the things on the wing of the plane. No, for real. Because I'm a TV personality, podcaster, keynote speaker, coach, and content creator. Ooh, I got my multi-hyphenate right.
Part, yes.
But the coaching part, I have a course called Brand Ninja where I help people work with brands in the way I did. And I believe it's because of my PR background that I do it the way I do. All of that said, happy to systematize it, happy to tell them how it all works. But the one piece that's probably the biggest that I have to help people get past, I can teach people how to do all the things, how to create a contract, how to know what they're worth, how to talk to brands, who are the gatekeepers of the brands, how do they make money doing paid partnership, it's all of it. What I can't, well, I can help them, but what they really have to ultimately push through themselves is, well, what's my Aunt Sally gonna think? But what if my friend from high school thinks I'm cringy? Let me ask you a question.
That part.
Is your Aunt Sally paying your mortgage?
That part.
Does your friend from high school pay your bills?
That part.
And that's what I always say to people. And also, who fucking cares?
That part.
But I totally get it.
Can you not wear that green lipstick when we go out? What?
It's called building a brand, babe. Look it up.
I had it all when we met. What?
It's called building a brand. It's called being an icon. Get familiar with it.
That part.
And
I'm like, and so I'm just trying to un-GloZell myself.
Which is
and it's never going to be enough.
So look, here's what I'm trying to get at when I'm like, oh, but how did this jump from just vlogging to like having a meetup of like thousands of people? What I'm saying is this, there is something so inherently magnetic about you, GloZell, that you didn't have to try to do what all the young influencer kids are doing. I'm going to take 12 courses on how to build a brand and how to be an influencer. You just were.
Thank you.
You just are the you-iest you. And because of that, people flock towards you and it sparked something. So let's get to the thing we were talking about before.
I do want to say that this family members that I still don't go to the gatherings anymore because it's still like, oh, you're embarrassing. Da, da, da. Who now since the interview with former President Barack Obama, that's my
Now they claim
cousin.
you.
Yes, they're so proud.
Interesting.
You know, and it's really up for me to get over that fact. But
well, here's the
I
thing.
have not. I don't have to hang with you.
Here's what it is.
Forgive you, but no.
They don't understand, but mostly it is. And I'm not putting your family members down. I'm saying this about all people. It's mostly jealousy because they don't have I'm Jewish, we say chutzpah. They don't have the chutzpah to do it themselves. And it's the same thing when somebody backhandedly says, like when I wear red lipstick a lot, oh, wow, it's so bold. I could never pull that off. And I'm like, yeah, you really, and my answer, I'm like, yeah, you really have to own it.
That part.
Don't I?
Yeah.
Because like, okay, well then you couldn't.
That's
if you
true.
think you couldn't, you probably couldn't. I'm so proud I can. I'm so proud I can.
Excellent.
So now you're in this part where you're trying to like climb this mountain and get past some of that. So you meet a man. So tell me when the man comes into it, the first husband.
Very, very challenging.
So let's go back to the beginning of the relationship. How'd you meet?
Well, we met at a festival in Orlando. It's called the Zora Neale Hurston Festival. And sometimes, my thing was, he was at that time, now I see sad, depressed, things weren't going well, but don't you worry. I'll
fix you.
I'm telling you, I'm bright, I'm sunny, I'm da, 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 da. So we, as you're here, we're going, So I thought. Then, because I was like, I go, what do you want to do? I want to be an artist. He said, I want to be an artist. I understand you want to be an artist and people don't understand that. And I just rallied my story around him, So, but eventually it wasn't the art wasn't enough and this wasn't enough. And I took his painting to the White House. Do you know what that painting is? I don't know. It's probably in the trash. I had to sneak it out because I'm like, it's good. And once, the help couldn't come from me. If you're not ready to be helped or if you don't want to advance, there's nothing you can do. You could literally take your stuff, put it in the White House. The president can talk about it. And that's it goes nowhere because you don't want it. So, but you can't do that much for somebody else.
No, because you are an attractor. And somebody like that, even with all the help, is a repeller. It's the wrong end of the magnets are together.
Right. So learn your lesson, cut it off. I'm trying to justify it. And you stay in a relation. You stay in it because once it turns around, you be like, see, but it doesn't turn around. So how long are you going to stay in it? So
what happened? So you met at the festival. It was a bit of a mismatch, but you were going to save him. And then you got married?
Yes, we moved to California and I'm like, okay, again, with the thought of my family, like, you can't live with me and we're not married. So I feel like, you know what, he probably really didn't want to do that, but I'm pushing that. Like, you gonna be here with me, then we got to do this because I have a brand and people are looking at me and I can't just have some guy living with me. So then that happened. And then I'm like, okay, now it's time for a kid. And I'm 43 at the time. Like, when is this gonna happen? So then that all the IVF, and I think back since I was so focused on having a kid, maybe that also lack of attention, thinking that okay, we're good, And it took so long. It took more than a year. I did more than 12 IVFs for our child, and then you have to be strong enough to go. You know what? We went through all that, and now the marriage is not there. And what was my part? First of all, it was all his fault at the time. But now I'm like, okay, what was my fault? What was my play in it? Yes, not caring about you. Maybe you needed that, but you got to open up. I'm thinking you're fine, because you've always been quiet. And I'm bebopping here. I'm doing here. Da 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 da. He doesn't want to go, so I'll go. He doesn't like do this. I'll do that. And I'm taking the child here, and we're doing this. And then you realize I was gonna go back to stand up, and I was doing this show. And he said, I was like, he's the first one I told about the show. Okay, I want you to come. He said, GloZell, I'll never support you, and I'll never come to that show or any other show. And I heard that. I missed all the red flags before that, but that was so loud. It was so loud in my soul. And I was like, I gotta go. And I'm like, We just had this baby via surrogate. It was like a whole thing, you know, we're looking like the perfect family. And I'm like, I got some cute years. I gotta go.
So tell me a little bit about tell me the story you were telling me earlier. When you guys would be out, people would come up to take pictures with you, because I think that's going to resonate for a lot of people.
Okay, so I was admiring how well you work with your husband. I was like, what, are they newlyweds? And you're like, did they just start? And you're just like, you were telling me you have 2 kids, you did this. And I'm like, how? I wanted that so much. But I would go out and people will come up to me, oh my gosh, GloZell. And they're kids. So it don't matter if we're eating dinner or you just walk in. And it just got to a point where it just gets so upset, you know? And I'm like, then I was like, okay, I hope that nobody comes up to me, you know, no fans, because now this is gonna be a problem at home. And when I would do something, there was no pictures of the things that I've done, no pictures of the president or any other show. We never watched most of the stuff that I was doing. I never watched what I did, you know, because you know it would make him mad. And I'm like, I understand, you know, you want to do your thing, and it's all about me and all about me, you know, but I'm doing my thing.
Thank you.
I'm doing it.
You're out there doing it.
I'm doing it. I'm being me.
You're not stopping him from doing his thing. You're just doing your thing, and there's a resentment.
Exactly. And when you are a person that, I'll just put like this, I couldn't get small anyway.
I can who you are.
No green, completely changed hair, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, are you GloZell? That was the inkling of like, you know, you still you know. It would come in different ways, like, wait a minute, like if you pay something and you have your name on it, or wait a minute, your voice, wait, are you you can't mask your stardom, your light, however you want to say it. Mm-hmm. And it's either gonna make people rise or it's gonna make people sick.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And with the wrong person, I made him sick.
Speaking of lining up, did I hear that you did some of your early videos in the line at The Tonight Show?
Yes.
Can you tell me about that? Because that's so fun.
Yes. I would go to The Tonight Show because in Florida, I would watch The Tonight Show. And a comedian, if Johnny Carson gave you the thumbs up, your life has changed.
Right.
For comedians, he was it. And if you were brought to the couch, forget about it. You have a show, you're going to do this and that. Forever change if you sit and talk to him. So when I came to California, beautiful downtown Burbank, I needed to go to The Tonight Show. And then I found out The Tonight Show is free. You just get your tickets and you go. And I would get tickets from someone that I knew that's like, you know what, I work for NBC. I can get you, tickets you don't have to wait in line for. But I liked waiting in line. And I was like, you would meet all kinds of, who wants to come watch the show? So then I was like, well, at the time it was Jay Leno. And I'm like, well, Jay Leno doesn't know all the people. Maybe he wants to see the people who want to see him. So I started interviewing them. And every day it was different walks of life and from different places. And I'm like, well, this is a great lineup. And I did that for over 365 times in a row.
For a whole year, you interviewed the people.
Yes, because Jay Leno hardly ever missed a day. I'm like, if you even miss a day, I'm not gonna miss a day. And I would do that. And that's one time there was like a break, a holiday, and I was like, okay, well, I'll pick up when the show starts. And then my fans was like, oh, GloZell, we're not watching for who you're interviewing. Right. We're watching for you. I'm like,
I just want to see you.
Oh, well, this is what I'm doing today. And that's where those other videos came from. I'm like, well, I'm going to meet Peter at the park and I have a video because my push-up bra helped me get my man back. And I'm telling you of all these skits of like, one day I'm going to be on SNL. One day I'm going to have my own comedy special kind of a thing. And my friend was like, that video hit 1 million. I was like, 2 million, 3 million. Like things are going up to 60, 70 million. And I'm like, I got more eyeballs on me than the show I'm watching.
Right.